Recording.
Shell Nagata. Today we're going to be making the vegetable beef soup. I've had a lot of requests for this recipe. So we want to start out, get you a big pot. And you want to get some of these lean, the beef tips or the beef bits. So you're going to fry those and some hamburger meat, both with onion in it and a little bit of water, salt and pepper. So let's get started. Hidelena, let's get started.
Listo. Akiyoshi.
I like to have quite a bit of meat in my soup, so I always put a couple packages of meat in there.
And while she's doing that, I'm going to be back here peeling taters and
Carrots
and all that.
celery, all the goodies.
She's the cook, I just assist.
You're going to want to put a little bit of water in there to keep it from sticking. Oh, we need a cup to put water in. And you're just going to fry all of it together. As soon as this, let's see. Let me put just a little bit of water in here. You're just covering the bottom of it a little bit. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, you can.
You're gonna cut your onion up. And all I'm doing is dicing the onion and putting it in here along with the meat. Okay, now we got our onion in here, and we just need to wait for our meat to brown. And put some salt and pepper in there. And you're just flavoring your meat to taste. Some people like it to have a lot of pepper in it, some people don't. But we'll be back when this is browned. Okay, while our our meat is cooking, all we're going to do is we're going to cut a potato in half, and then we're going to cut that half in half. To make the cook time shorter, then we're just going to dice it, not in small cubes because you don't want it to melt but you're going to cut it in bigger portions. And we're putting it in a separate pot right now to boil it, just to save some cooking time. Normally, if I was at home and cooking this, I throw them in there and just let it simmer for 30 minutes, and that usually allows enough time for them to soften up. But today we're going to cook them separately. So I'm taking about 4 or 5 potatoes, and like I said, I'm just dicing them up in big chunks. Whoop, sorry. Grab another potato. Normally though, when you boil your potatoes in with the soup, it allows the soup to kind of thicken, because you want that starch so it'll thicken a little bit, but it'll still come out the same way doing it this way, because we're only going to like halfway boil them. They're not going to be completely done. I might have to pour some of this water out because it's too full. All right, so our meat's done, and we want to drain all of the fat and the grease from it. This thing's so big, I don't know if I can hold on to it. That's why you put water in there, so that it kind of fry boils. It gets all the fat out of the meat. This thing's so heavy, I feel like my veins are sticking out of my neck. Like,
Just call her She-Ra.
Wonder Woman. Okay. You got all that fat out of there. And after I drain my meat, I kind of let it we're going to let it brown. And here we have cabbage, celery, and carrots that we've already pre-cut. And of course our potatoes are boiling. And they're about halfway done. We'll take them off in just a minute. So we have a couple cans of diced tomatoes, petite diced. Make sure they're petite diced. I prefer petite diced. It works better. And then I have a couple cans of French cut green beans. So you want to drain your cans of beans before you pour it in there. And then I always get this frozen Pick Sweet Farms white corn. It gives it a better flavor than the canned corn. And then we're going to season it with some this beef bouillon. Everybody wanted to know what powdered beef bouillon is, but that's what it is. You can usually find it in the Spanish aisle. And then also we have some V8 that we're going to add to it. Some onion powder and salt and pepper. So let's check to see if our meat is browned real good. Alright, so the meat's done. And we're going to go ahead and add all of our vegetables. I put a little bit of cabbage in this time. We're going to add our tomatoes. You could add any kind of beans. It doesn't have to be these French cut green beans. You could add pintos to it if you wanted to. It's just a vegetable soup. It's whatever you prefer. You have all your vegetables in there. You're going to add some V8 juice. Uh-oh, drop lid. The V8's where the flavor's at. And if you don't like V8 juice, you don't have to add it, but it really gives it a great flavor. And then you're going to add some water because you're going to add your beef bouillon. I'm going to add 2 big cans of water so that it makes stock in there. I might even add 3 cans, depending on how high our liquid is in here. Alright, we're going to add 3 cans. And of course you wouldn't be adding all of this water to a pot at home. We're just making a really big pot because we're going to give it away to some of the community members that stop by. As long as we're practicing the 3 W's. So we'll just wait for that to boil. In the meantime, we're going to add our potatoes. So we're going to drain that. Really done. We're not going to add the potatoes till the end because I don't want those to be too mushy. So we're going to take, I would usually add 2 big spoonfuls of this powdered beef broth, but because we're making such a mass amount, then I'm adding way more. And then you're going to add onion powder. Salt, because I know it's going to be needing salt. And some pepper. And that looks like that salt's coming out really fast, but it's not. I have rice in there, and it prevents it from coming out really fast. and it keeps it from getting clumped up too, so. And we are just gonna wait till this simmers, and then it'll soften the, oh, we forgot the corn, hold on. I knew I was forgetting something. So I added like half the bag because it is a large pot. This smells good. It's already making my mouth water. Anybody else out there tasting this already?
Girl, my mouth waters at any kind of food.
Okay, so we're gonna cover this, and I've got it set to high because we want it to boil. So we're gonna cover it, let it simmer, or let it roll boil, and then turn it down to a simmer before we add our potatoes. Our potatoes, because they're already done, then that'll be the last thing that we add. Is now roll boiling. I did taste it to check to see how the flavor was, and I ended up adding some more V8 juice, and I added some more onion powder, and of course salt and pepper to it, just because we had added that extra little bit of water. But you're only gonna boil it to where your cabbage is getting floppy and soft. Of course, our potatoes are already done, and I took the carrots out so that they would boil faster and get done. So I'm adding my potatoes back to my stew now. And you want to let it simmer at least, if you're cooking everything else outside of it, you want to at least let it simmer or roll boil, either one, whichever one you want to do, for at least 5 minutes. That way it allows for the flavors to set in there. And there you go. That is homemade vegetable beef soup. All right, thank you for watching. Please send us a thank you on our Facebook page to let us know that you are watching our videos and if they're helpful. If you have any questions or if there's anything that you might want to see cooked, let us know, and we'll do our best to see if we can prepare a recipe for you to follow, and also to do a cooking instruction video. We also want to remind people to practice the 3 W's. Wash your hands for at least 20 to 30 seconds.
Sing happy birthday twice.
Wait at least 6 to 8 feet from others. And always remember to wear your mask. Ski.